Let's say one of the first interview question जो जावास्क्रिप्ट में पूछा जाता है, that is comparison operator double equal to versus triple equal to. Now in JavaScript we have this two operator. ये दोनों ऑपरेटर जो है जावास्क्रिप्ट में यूजफुल है in case if you are comparing. So what is the main difference? Let's understand this. So let's assume if we compare number 10 with string 10 in this case, since it's a number and it's a string, you can see the data type check कर सकते हो, and we'll compare number 10 with triple equal to string 10. Now the difference is here when you compare values with double equal to, so this double equal to will compare only values, it won't compare the data type. यहाँ पे data type compare नहीं होगा. So we need to see the data type also. So type of, it's a keyword in JavaScript where we'll check the data type in this case. Here, when you compare values with triple equal to, in this case, it compares values and data type together. Okay. And when we run this code, and if we see the answer is true for the first case and false for the second case, because the double equal to, it is comparing only values जहाँ पे data type comparison नहीं हो रहा है, while triple equal to, it is comparing data type and values together. So when you are going to use triple equal to, so assume you have some data where you just need to compare specifically the keywords. So keywords must compared with triple equal to. It is always preferable to compare keywords. So right now variable record, the default value of record, you can see it's a undefined. So now we are comparing this variable with undefined with triple equal to. So जब भी आप data type compare whenever you are comparing values with keywords, then try to have triple equal to in this case, and this is what the answer which is equal to true. So this is what one of the first example mainly asked in interview questions. Let's go to another example. The example that is called as the difference between keyword where and keyword let. Now, this example can be covered in three different variations. So, where or let में जो differences है, that can be covered with three different variations. So, let's have these three variations one by one. Okay, so one of the first variation. Now, let keyword, you can say it's a feature which is introduced in ECMAScript version 6, specifically in year 2015. Okay, in case if you want to see what are the features available in ECMAScript version, so in that case you can visit this website. और यहाँ पे जो जो भी उन्होंने डेवलपमेंट किया हुआ है, so let's say this one in 2015 version 6, the introduction it says let keyword, it was declared for local declaration and even constants also declared. तो यहाँ पे आपको list of ECMAScript के जो features है वो यहाँ पे मिल जाएगा. How about the difference between where and let? Let's declare a variable within a scope. ये एक scope है आपका, that is called as your global scope, script scope. Here we have to declare a variable, let's say user. Now whenever we are creating any variable, so understand that variables are always created with an empty value that is nothing but undefined in JavaScript. So we may see the value which is undefined. Okay, now if we declare variable few more times, so it will be counted, there will be no glitch in this case. So ये जो variables हमने multiple time declare करके रखा हुआ है, it means in JavaScript it is allowed to declare variables with keyword where multiple time within a same scope. That is allowed. How about keyword let? Is it allowed? So I will say, let's say user age, it's a variable name. Again, it will generate the same value undefined for keyword let. So declaration for let and where, it's always undefined by default. The answer is undefined. How about redeclaration in the same scope? If I declare same variable in script scope, that is in global scope, now here itself it says we cannot redeclare variable within a same scope. That is not allowed. Okay, so this is one of the first difference which can be checked in our example. So yes, where keyword variable with where keyword. can be redeclared, in the same scope. This is our one of the first example. While variable with keyword let cannot be redeclared in the same scope. अगर आप ये variable दूसरे कोई scope में declare करोगे तो it's fine. So let's say if I declare this variable in block scope, this is allowed. It won't generate any errors because scope अलग अलग हो गया यहाँ पे. But within a same scope it is not allowed. So this is one of the first difference between where and let, that is declaration part. Another one. So let's have another one. So here we have one more way to perform variable declaration process in a scope. Now, how about the scope restrictions? So I'm just creating a block scope in this case. This is called considered as a block scope. So this block scope can be treated with keyword if, or we may go with the while loop, or maybe for loop, for off, for in switch case. Many particular structures can be used with block scope. So this is our global scope script, and this is our block scope. In block scope, let us create a variable with keyword a, and let us assign something. Now this variable, it is declared in block scope, and I want to access this variable value outside the block scope. So within a block scope, if we declare any variable with keyword where, it is not restricted. It can be used outside the block scope. So if we see outside the block scope, answer 10 is visible. But I want to make variable within a scope itself. I want to have a restrictions for this variable. Here we'll be using keyword let. So कोई भी वेरिएबल आप let कीवर्ड से डिक्लेयर करते हो within a scope, specifically in block scope. Now this variable with keyword let, it is not accessible outside the block scope. So if you want to have any variable within a block scope restriction mode, then always go for a keyword let. So this value b, it won't be accessible outside the block scope. This is one of the second difference. So we'll just write it down. Variable with keyword let is restricted within a block scope. And that is not possible. That is not for keyword where. Now the third one is hoisting. So let's have the concept of hoisting. Hoisting, it's a process where declaration of variables can be moved from bottom to top direction. Let's understand this hoisting in JavaScript. It's a very common procedure. So hoisting in JavaScript. Let's see the definition. So hoisting, it's a process where interpreter, it moves the declaration of functions, variable, and class to the top of the scope before the code is executed. So example, if I create a variable here, let's say variable a, we are just declaring a variable a at the end of the scope. And if we use this variable above this, now in this case, the declaration of variable during the execution time, it will go up and your value will be awarded with undefined. So if you see, variable with keyword where can have hoisting, that is allowed, undefined. Only declarations are hoisted. So if I write with some value, so you won't get answer 10 in this case. Only declaration will be hoisted. Assignment hoist नहीं होता है. तो यहाँ पे देखोगे answer is not equal to 10. It is still undefined. Okay. How about keyword let? So if we declare a variable, let's say at the end, using keyword let. So let me have both. Now in this case, specifically, the variable which is declared keyword using keyword let, it won't get hoisted. And if we see, the answer will be, in this case, the error, it says cannot access lexical declaration of b before initialization. So hoisting, it is applicable for keyword where. So hoisting is not applicable for variable with keyword let. So there are three definitions or differentiation which can be given in the interview process. The first one is redeclaration of a variable with keyword let within a same scope, that is not allowed. Second, Variable with keyword let, it is restricted within a scope. And third one, variable with keyword let cannot be hoisted. Variable with keyword where can be hoisted only with declaration. So ये तीन interviews questions, these three answers can be given between where and let.